All right, just because I'm eager, let's keep going. I wasn't going to do this, but I have some extra time, so I'm going to try to get through these next chapters because until I do, I'm not going to be able to move on with reading it. I want to be able to get this out there. So we are on chapter 11, and this is also a tense chapter, certainly for a few people. We start with Picker, and they are just waiting. Perrin and Trott have gone on to meet with the clans, or the clan. I don't know if you'd call them just the clans or the clan if they're all just one group. But they're on their way there, and Picker's still sitting there. Everyone's getting a little bit bored. Hedge, Blend, Spindle, they're all there just kind of waiting, getting a little bit antsy. Things aren't feeling great. They're wondering when the heck Quickban is going to show up. Hedge kind of messes with Detorin, this other big girl in the group, and she beats him up. I think he was just kind of flirting with her or kind of bugging her a little bit. It's not really a big part of the plot, but I thought, he really beat her up. Or, sorry, the other way around. She really beat him up. The morale's not doing great. Spindle is no Quickben. Antsy, who's kind of in charge right now, isn't any Whiskey Jack. And Picker doesn't feel like any kind of replacement for Callum or Calam. And things are just not going well. And they are on their way to what may be their death. Because if things go wrong with Trotts, who knows what these Barghasts are going to do. They talk a little bit, and then again, this standard bearer, Dujek's standard bearer, which we don't really know his identity. At least I don't think so. This one that has a little bit more of an extra identity hidden behind him. They wonder about this guy, Artanthos. I'm still curious about that. They think maybe he's a high-ranking claw for the Empress, kind of keeping an eye on them. They wonder, even though they've kind of are doing their own thing, how much are they really doing on behalf of the Empire without really maybe realizing it? And now, Quickben in the next scene is dragging himself out of the Warren. He's been struggling just to get himself desperately for half a day out of Hood's realm. And if Quickben can't get out of it easily, it doesn't seem like a good thing to send other people into it. He realizes again that the crippled god's assault is a war on the Warrens themselves. Sorcery was the sword that struck him down initially. Now he seeks to destroy that weapon and so leave his enemies unarmed. That's why he's going after all the sorceries, whether on whatever continent, it seems like, not just through the Panian Domain. I wonder what extra stuff he has in mind. The Chaden one has found a way to open the floodgates of the Warren of Chaos, which is awesome. I mean, not awesome, but you know what I mean. Super compelling. Super compelling. And the Panians are like this embodiment of what happens when that goes down. I should reread the prologue at some point just on my own to see kind of the timeline, because I can't recall exactly when in the prologue these people turn way feral and all that stuff happens. I think that's when we do the time jump to 100,000 years before all this time. Anyway, we need to take down that pawn, which is the Panian Seer. He's just one pawn in all this, but he's an important one, at least in this situation that they find themselves in. Jump to Perrin, and they are in front. They are with this They see this huge expanse of people who have come to this great gathering, not to counsel with Humbraltar, who's kind of the head, but to answer Trott's challenge. And Trott's is making a claim. He has these tattoos that make a claim about his history as one of the first clans. So if he alone is of that first clan, he's making his claim. But he's clanless. And his chosen clan right now that he's adopted are these bridge burners that are a part of it. And I love that. It's not a blood clan, but it's a chosen clan. And he's very much a Malazan officer. Even though he's a Barghast, it's very interesting. Now, Twist is there, and they butt heads with the Barghast. He's a Black Moranth. Twist recognize that this enmity that they have between them is ancient, born of memories, not experiences. The memories are false. So it's like it's been put into them. There are things in our own history where we don't know what we don't know. And, we have ancient Egypt where names could be scrubbed from the record. So there are things that we know have been scrubbed that we will never, it's just lost to us. And that's happened in other places. All these, the Germans, the Nazi Germans tried to burn all these books. And I think if they had their way, they would do this great reset. And within a few generations, try to reset our memory of how things happened. And, I don't want to go onto that tangent, but they have this enmity that is born of memories that aren't even their own experiences, and the memories aren't even right. They shouldn't be enemies. Humbraltar has selected his champion, one of his sons, his youngest son, and man, that part is so cool. We're coming to that. So even if Trott doesn't win the duel, full acceptance from these other clans isn't guaranteed, but they're going to take that gamble. And if it goes wrong, that's not going to be good for his clan, which are the bridge burners. If it does go well, as far as I understand, this is the plan to gather them, go help Capistan, and march on the Panian Domain or whatever their extra plans are. Remember, the Capistan is just kind of secondary to what their real plan is, even though Capistan is still important here. So there's this silence. Everyone comes together. All these clan leaders, they make a circle, and Humbraltar strolls in and takes center position, and he raises his spiked mace, and everyone kind of goes silent. And that's almost like the baton that kind of might, if Trott becomes the new guy, he might take this mace or something. It might have some kind of significance like that. Trott emerges from the crowd. And then this youngest, and Trott he's decked out in Malazan armor, a straight blunt sword, a blunt-tipped broadsword in his right hand, and a shield. He's decked out. And then this youngest son emerges. And I love this kid. Scrawny, a grinning youth, hasn't even reached adulthood. Hasn't done his rite of passage really into adulthood, but he doesn't lose duels. And all he has is some leather and a single little knife loosely held in one hand. He's not trying to stand imposing in a way that's imposing. He's just kind of grinning, standing totally comfortable, just like a youth. And it's just like, okay, there's something extra about this kid. Now, they're not going to take any chances, the bridge burners, and some of the bridge burners, they don't totally have, Captain Perrin doesn't totally have their loyalty yet. And they're like, we have these grenade cussers. If anything goes bad, we're going to be over here just in case. And he says, everyone sit tight. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to provoke. There's not going to be a mutiny here against me, and we're not going to attack these guys. We're going to do things the right way. Trott is our leader while we are here. And you answer to me. Okay, so the duel begins. The youth's sloppy stance didn't change, even though Trott is really getting into this Malazan trained stance, which is very different than what maybe the Barghast are used to. And this kid is kind of sizing him up, just kind of observing and things, while Trott observes him, doesn't want to take too many chances. There's a lot riding on this, and I love this. I love this because it's almost like this kid is playing with Trott. There's this assault, this quick assault that just happens fast, and this knife that the kid has just glances off Trott's helm. And not even hard. It's like, I could have killed you if I would have put some effort into that. And then Trott slams him with the shield, and he goes tumbling back. Trott could have been dead right there, I think. I think he's just playing with them. But maybe I'm reading that wrong. But man, Steven Erikson writes cool scenes. And his smile is still there. Now, Trott is settled back again. And now they're kind of circling. This kid is kind of circling. And while the bridge burner simply pivots, ignoring all these feints in and out of this kid. And then he launches another attack, trying to get to the bridge burner's right knee. And the shield came down, driving the knife away. And just as that's happening, he kind of just does this light attack on Trott's toe cap, which could have been bad as well. But it's just this weak little thing. And then the bridge burner snaps the shield into the boy's face, and it's just kind of a mess. But he's still grinning and whatever. Now, or he's not really grinning. So here's where this goes. The kid reels back again, his knife rising, and into the armor joint of Trott's left arm, really tearing through it. The Malazan chops down with his broadsword, severing this kid's knife hand. And then this kid, just with his fingers shoots it up beneath the chin guard of Trott and just crushes his windpipe. But also it's like, it sounds like he really, man, this kid is cold. And it looks like Trott is dead. And Trott's final gesture is this lightning sweep broadsword swipe across the kid's stomach. Just pouring out his intestines and guts. And now this kid is frantically his legs are, he's convulsing. Trott is grasping at his throat with his legs kicking, and it's just awful. Mulch, the healer, we don't have Mallet there, jumps in trying to kind of help out. It's kind of causing this. What happens when there's a draw? Everyone's kind of going in, and a horn blasts. There's pandemonium. Humbraltar tells everyone to back up. The bridge burners have these grenades in the air as there's people kind of approaching them. I thought it was... Anyway. And Perrin shouts to put them away, put the grenades away. And a horn sounds a second time. And no one knows. No one knows what's going to happen with this, especially if they both die. Perrin swings around, heads towards the circle, and it's time for him and Humbraltar to talk and see what's going to happen. Perrin asks, does our fate rest on Trott's surviving Warchief? Says not entirely. Not entirely. And I believe this is the point where, as a safeguard for Trott's, because if they can keep him alive, then maybe he technically won. They need to go get Mallet really quickly. He sends Twist off on one of these quarrels, and oh no, that may have been earlier on. But anyway, they Mallet is now arriving. And everyone's like, wow, he thought that one through well. And maybe he got some points from the bridge burners. Perrin did. So, now we go back to Picker studying Quickben, who has just arrived from Hood's Warren. Like, thank goodness he's back. He's probably exhausted. He's talking to them, and then all of a sudden, all these little creepy arms and things yanks him down again. He's been grabbed from the big giant hand. Now he's being yanked by these little hands. Everyone kind of climbs towards him. Stupid idiot Spindle, I believe, is trying to is holding on to Quickben's head. And he says, let me go. Let me go. Trust me. So they let him go, and he sinks out, and and they're going to just wait, I guess. They're going to wait. But what happens if he doesn't get out? Now, he shows up in this other realm, Warren or whatever, and there are these high, proud canoes. And as he's going to this water, he recognizes that this is in a long dead Warren. The living Barghasts know nothing of this place, yet it is where they go. And he calls out, I'm here. Hello? What do you want? And some figures emerge, knee-deep and swirling in black water. And they were a mix of Imass and Toblakai, which I wish I had a better memory than I do. I'm going to have to go back and figure out, because I know that Toblakai were mentioned a lot in the last book, and I've forgotten some stuff. Now, he asks, where are we? To this group that has shown up. The first landing. Here wait the warriors who did not survive the journey's end. Our fleet was vast, mage. It's like they're just stuck there. And now where do the Barghast dead go now? Say nowhere and everywhere. They are lost. There's some freaky concepts in this book, especially with a lot of it is regarding afterlife and stuff, and they have some bleak. There's some bleakness regarding where the Talani Mass go, where the Barghast go. They tell Quickben that Trott has technically won, but he must not die. And if he does die, their soldiers will die. So, also tells him, Quick Ben, and thank goodness for this, I think, that the child, Hetan, the child of Humbraltar, has found the founding spirits that were lost, found their bones, and they are trapped within the city of Capistan. He needs to go give that message to Humbraltar. And this will hopefully clear some things up. Now, to be able to heal Trotts, I don't know if Mallet has it in him, because it'll, in exchange for healing Trotts, there's always this exchange. It could kill Mallet. But if this healer was able to channel the power of these ancient spirits here, maybe things would work out. But to be able to do that, he must be led to this warren. And Quick Ben's like, all right. That's what we're doing now. We go back. Mallet arrives. Perrin's like, he needs you. It's a crushed throat. Mallet's face goes kind of white, but he's filled with duty. He knows that Trotts needs to live, and he's willing to make that exchange, that mortal exchange, if need be. I love Mallet now. I mean, I did before too. He does that. His warren is opening. His mind is going crazy. He's kind of losing himself, struggling to stay sane. So remember, it's like his warren has been infected as well. He's losing this sanity. He's feeling it leaving him. And then sudden calm. Sudden calm happens. So let me just make sure I get this, because there's more. There's so much more to what I'm explaining. But I'd want to just zip through it as much as I can. So has his fingertips on Trotts' throat as he's doing this, kind of going nuts, trying to channel this power. Hands grasped him, tore at him, a new assault. His spirit struggled, tried to pull away. Screams engulfed him at all sides. Hands fell away from his limbs and were replaced by new ones. And then a sudden calm. Mallet found himself kneeling in a fetid pool, shrouded in silence. Sounds like it's the same place that Quick Ben was going to try to take him to, or they were trying to figure out. Take from us, 1,000 voices whispered in unison. Take our power, return to your place, and use what we give you. So awesome. He lurches upright. So Mallet's still around. The Denewal warren, the path of healing, is all around him. He could feel his fingers, even though it felt like he was still kind of not really himself. And the healer's eyes blink open. Trotts is going to make it, and he's going to make it. An exchange has happened, and Mallet is like, I don't understand, because who made that exchange? Is it these guys that were willing to do that and remain in this eternal realm? That's brutal. Yeah. So Trotts is going to make it. But it doesn't mean that the bridge burners are off the hook. Now, let me make sure they are watching. Some of these other bridge burners are now watching Perrin, and they're taking note on how he has been facing this challenge. And everything he has done has been good, has been right. And they're like, wow, He's as cold as jagged winter. Good thing he's around. Remember, he's been taught to be this way. Tavor, cold, but gets the job done. And I think they're starting to like him. He's going to be their boy, I think. I mean, who knows? Within Humbroltar's tent, he gets the news that Trott lives. And this is when he says, well, he doesn't have a tribe. He can't assert leadership. He doesn't even have a tribe. He says he does have a tribe, War Chief. 38 bridge burners. That just gave me chills when I read that the first time. And he says, well, even if he will have his time to speak in the morning, but I don't think it's going to do any good. We're not marching on Kapistan. It's not going to work. We have 27 tribes here. Only 8 of them even recognize Humbroltar as a leader and respect him and whatever. So it's going to be impossible to put these all together. So I hope Quickben hurries up. The bridge burners are still in danger, he says. Now. We get Picker showing up. Right? Am I reading this right? You know, even this was a few days ago, and my mind goes totally wild. Sometimes stuff comes in and doesn't stay in. But they tell him that Quickben fell into this warren, snatched up, and that the warrens are quickly going sour. Trott is still sleeping, healing. Perrin needs to talk to him, though, and asks Mallet if there's a way of speeding up this healing, waking him up. Says, sure, I got something. Smacks Trott. No, that's not right. Quickben is the one that's sleeping. It's like, how can we get him awake? He's like, I know, and he smacks him, smacks Quickben, and then wakes him up. And Quickben grins and says, you all owe me. You guys, all of you, owe me. Big time. Which, can't help but agree with that. Their heads are still on the chopping block. But we got to go talk to... We got me, Perrin, speaking as me as Perrin. Me, you, Quickben, Mallet, and Trott, we got to go talk to Humbroltar and make sure things work out. Now we have Picker scowling, kind of, he's looking around like this is not going good. The rest of the Barghast don't know that Trott is awake. I don't think they're wondering what's going to happen. As far as the bridge burners know, they feel they're toast. Picker sees everyone kind of getting drunk and seeing these vicious duels going on by the fires and people dying and stuff. The torques on her arms, I keep forgetting it's a her. The torques on her arms are getting hotter. And they can feel that there's some spirits that have been loosened. These are ancestors gathering. And Blend goes and sees if he can find some answers. Now we're just at the last 2 pages here. And Picker tells Spindle with his nasty mom shirt, and this is just funny, it's not a part of the plot, but tells him to go have some fun. Goes, go find someone to sleep with. Because these Barghast ladies are, they're forward, to say the least. but you're going to have to take off that nasty hair shirt. He's like, I can't take that. What will Mother think? Spindle, Picker says, your mother's dead. She ain't here. She isn't watching over you. You can misbehave, Spindle, honest. And then the mage ducks down as if an invisible hand clocks him, and Picker wonders if he sees this little indentation of knuckles on his head. He's like, oh, dang, maybe they are here. Maybe they are here. Now, the very last part here. Perrin leaves this tent, and it's almost as if everyone can he can almost detect the dark godlings of the Barghast facing the dawn for the first time in thousands of years. The Barghast elder spirits have left Mallet, Quickben says. Can you feel them? So even Quickben. Everyone detects something is really up. All the barriers have been shattered. The Forgotten Warren is forgotten no more. So cool. We've still a city to liberate. What happens if Tar raises the standard of war and his rivals deny him? They won't. They can't, Quickben says. They'll feel the power. The spirits will make it known that their master, the true gods of the Barghast, are trapped in Kapistan. The founding spirits are awake. I better gather the bridge burners. Perrin sighs. Trott's new tribe, Quickben says, grinning. Now, he's your responsibility, Captain. You'll have to teach him. Meaning you have to teach him to lead. Go raise him up. And that's the end of that chapter. And that takes us to page 367, which gives us one tiny little chapter left, and then two small chapters left. And then I'll be all caught up. So thanks again for listening, and I will see you on the next one.